Hello, everybody. My name is Tamara Kraker. I am a coach, facilitator, and speaker on self-awareness and the Enneagram. And today I am joined by a really good friend of mine. Her name is Jill Zimmer. And Jill is a counseling therapist and a certified professional Enneagram. I should say that, a certified Enneagram professional. And Jill is a social six. So welcome here, Jill.
Thank you. Woo! Woo!
I'm very excited about this interview. I can't wait to hear your answers. So, you ready? Shall we dive in?
This is an act of discipline that I'm purely doing just for you right now.
Nice. For you're moving in your three directions. So, this is
That's
perfect. This is perfect. So, the first question is, when you first learned your Enneagram type, what was it that made it click?
right. Um, I always find that an interesting question because a lot of people I know they didn't appreciate,
Mm,
when they read about themselves and they kind of push back against it. I would almost say it was the opposite for me,
mm,
is when I was reading through, it was actually Richard Rohr's book, The Enneagram. And um, I started reading, and I think he must start at, I don't know if he starts at nine or what he starts at, but
mhm.
I was like, I saw a lot of, I saw a lot of myself in the nine, and then the one, I'm like, oh yeah, and then the five, I'm like, holy smokes, this person is really knows me, right? But
Right.
then when I read the six, which was kind of the second to last one, I'm just like, oh yeah, holy, that's like I didn't realize those were things
Mm,
that were kind of ingrained or cemented. I
mm,
just thought that was unique aspects to who I was. And so, but I kind of felt known.
mm.
And yeah, like it's like, yeah, okay, this is cool. I liked it.
I really like that you mentioned both sides of that because I agree there are lots of people that I recognize push back against certain pieces or don't want to own the number that they land on for various reasons. There's an element of uncomfortability, but I had the same experience. I read my number and I thought, first of all, how did someone know that? But also, I felt very understood. It was like it gave language to my experience in a way I didn't know how to do for myself.
Mm, absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was, and it never left me.
Hmm.
And that was probably about 25 years ago now.
Mhm.
Um, and it kind of just stayed like
Mm,
kind of at the back a little bit, until I think I was ready
mm,
to explore it more. But so I think for a period of time, it was just like, okay, wow, that's something, but I don't know what to do with it. So I
mm,
just press pause on it. So,
mm. And that's such a good point again. You and I probably both believe that the Enneagram finds you when you're ready for it, and you can get introduced to it at different times in your life. And then when you're ready to do a deep dive, something pulls you in, something pulls you into it. Yeah, cool. Thank you. When it comes to work, or I guess outside of work as well, what kind of environments would you say bring out the best in you?
um, well, one would argue that I can be prepared for almost any environment. But um, um, but I would say in work in particular, um, just really connecting with with people on the level of when they've allowed themselves to be shown and then knowing.
Mm, mm,
It's a really invigorating
mm,
experience.
mm,
Obviously, I'm hoping it is too for my client, but I know that it's very resonating for me too as a therapist to sit
mm,
in that space. It feels very sacred
mm,
and something really important, and just feels right.
mm.
And you're left kind of with that fragrance afterwards. Um, in life, it's probably something very similar,
Mm.
um, but it's so much more unpredictable, right?
Mm.
And so I just, I don't know that I've ever quite been able to put my finger on it, um, but again, it probably has the same type of fragrance, but whether it's with a stranger, I have a dear friend of mine. We call ourselves to some degree intimacy junkies.
Mhm.
Although I'm very introverted and so don't go out of my way all the time to connect. Uh, but when it happens and intimacy is there, even if it's with a stranger that you never see again, or if it's with a long-term friend that, even after years of knowing each other, you sit in a space together and you're just like, wow,
Mm.
there was just something that was really important that happened here.
Mm.
And so I probably love deep conversations. Um, but I also love when you're just doing life with somebody,
Mm.
running errands or,
Mm.
you know, just dancing, on the dance floor, when you're using kind of other resources other than, of course, I'm, a disembodied head as a as a six. But and so probably oftentimes when I'm in my body and maybe a good belly laugh,
Mm.
probably some of those things, and even better if you've done all of that in
Mm.
the course of a night
Mm.
and you get to fall into bed, go to sleep, and the next morning you're just like,
Mm.
that was a good one, wasn't it?
Mm.
And
I
it's
love that.
it's made the memory banks.
Yeah, I mean, you bring up so many points. I hear a lot of the trust piece in there, which we often talk about with sixes, that they sometimes have a difficult time trusting early on, but when that trust is built, it is, I think, exactly how you're explaining it, this like fragrance that moves on beyond that experience because not only are you experiencing trust in somebody, but they're experiencing trust in you. And there's that loyalty piece that we talk about in sixes. Now we've built a trust system and a loyalty system that allows everybody to engage in a new way. Yeah,
Yeah,
beautiful.
it is the good stuff.
Yeah, I love that. The next question is around what gives you energy, and feel free to weave in the opposite. What drains your energy?
um what drains my energy is staying stuck in worst case scenario thinking.
Mm.
Like I mean, it will be a part of my nature to, you know, to the day either, dementia strikes me, which might be, might be the most pleasant thing for a six. I don't know. It is technically something I fear. So maybe I need to look at it from, the best case scenario point of view. that that Shady Acres might be actually, the most peaceful place I've ever been, right? But uh, but when I get stuck there,
Mm.
and it's and probably when it's filled with that I doubt my inherent abilities
Mm.
to, I know this doesn't sound sexy, to make a good choice,
Mm.
right?
Mm.
I never really doubt too much my inherent lovability.
Mhm.
I think Brene Brown talks about that, right? That's kind of at the essence of shame.
Mhm.
But it's I doubt my own abilities,
Mm.
and that is very paralyzing. And then so that therefore, the longer I stay stuck there, the more it drains my energy,
Mm.
and then detaches myself, and I just want to go and I want to learn more, and just
Mm.
fill myself up even more, which is a different form of chaos, right?
Mhm. Mhm.
Um, but what is energizing, and this is what I've always kind of thought about, that movement to nine, right?
Mm.
Just feeling really at home in a moment,
Mm.
um, where like to me, I ultimately believe that there's stress, worry, fear, and anxiety, right? That they're all kind of four different things, but where I'm free of anxiety and worry,
Mm.
Well, you want fear to be present if it needs to be present. Um, and obviously maybe stress is not there, but you're sitting inside a moment, right? Even if it's just like running, running errands with a friend.
Mm,
And you're just very present. Uh,
mm,
Probably also, my spiritual life is is probably by far the foundation of,
mm,
of where I find the greatest amount of peace.
mhm,
And I think that's where I can connect in this, like, and remember who am I again, right? Like, what's this all about? Who
mm,
am I? How
mm.
now then shall I live? Like, just kind of walking through that.
Right,
It's a really energizing space where it's like,
right.
okay, all right.
Which I guess we could argue is a form of presence too, right? Is being in the moment of like being able to recognize who you are and what makes you so great is has to happen in the present moment and it incorporates all the other moments.
Yes.
Mm,
Yeah. On a like, and interesting enough, what popped into my brain is like on a, like, I'll say superficial level,
mm,
probably music.
mm,
Um, Music is a space that can really energize me, and it actually can. I usually like you know the really melancholy kind of quieter music. Like, it just fills me like with
right,
like intense energy.
right.
And I remember I heard once a fellow was talking about art, which obviously music is art. Um, and he was talking about how art has a way of slipping past our defenses
Mm,
and kind of reaching the deep, kind of the deeper aspects of who we are. And I really just believe that is music for me.
mm,
And that, yeah, that has been a consistent space my whole entire life, where
mm.
I have felt more integrated as a human being.
I think that makes so much sense, though. Even going back to your comment about moving to nine is what gives you energy. I mean, nines are part of the body types, and there is an element of a natural connection to all of your senses. So while music is so much more than just hearing, that is where it begins. And if you're hearing the music, you're in a present moment, and then you're allowing the music to affect you, and then you can start exploring all the other pieces that music evokes, including feelings and passion and all those pieces.
Oh yeah, it totally start because it's the one. If I'm sitting here, even if I'm doing work, right? I'm sitting here, and if I was to stop and pause,
Mm,
like, I would, my fists would probably be fisted up, my shoulders would probably be up, and I would be like engaged.
mhm.
But when music starts, then it's just like you want to,
Loosen. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah.
like, everything wants to loosen up, right?
Mm,
And then
mm,
you feel it on the inside, and like you say, then the senses,
yeah.
just kind of
Yeah.
come alive. And yeah, it's just a real body thing.
I love that. I think that's really good. I think it also falls in line with things that you and I have talked about lots as far as how to help mind types, which would be types five, six, and seven, really get into their body. And this is a really natural way is to throw music on and see what happens.
Yeah. Oh, it's completely grounding.
You can call it a growth practice.
Yeah.
Throw on some music and dance. That's right. The next question is, what's something you know about yourself now that you wish you had known earlier?
Hmm. Um, uh, I think um, I guess I don't know what word to put on this, but this is part of probably my one of my deepest grief processes is, I somehow always second guessed my own goodness.
Mm,
And I'm not even talking about responsibility. And in fact, probably that's what I substituted um, my own goodness for, but I never believed in it. And
mm,
so I always believed that somehow I was going to be a problem in someone's life.
mm.
And so maybe, you're not a problem.
Mm.
Um, I think it was, I don't know, I think maybe I heard Suzanne Stabile or somebody that maybe heard, she was maybe talking with somebody. It could be Russ Hudson too. You're not a problem to be solved. You're
Mm.
beauty on the way to being formed.
Wow.
And um, that really, when I heard that, kind of fit in with the this grief that I was probably from my it was probably in my early 30s that I came in contact to just how constipated,
Mm. Mm.
emotionally constipated
Mm.
I was, and how much I never showed up because I was so scared it would be a problem. I would be a problem for
Mm.
people.
Wow.
Yeah, and so therefore I didn't live.
Mm.
I didn't allow myself good things
Mm.
because just in case,
Wow.
just in case I wasn't good enough.
Wow. And I think that's such a powerful statement that really takes it from I'm a victim of my reality to I've created some of this reality. I don't allow myself good things because I'm not worthy of good things.
Yeah.
That's such a powerful statement.
And so what came to mind right there is it's like I worst case scenarioed myself,
Wow.
that I was the worst case scenario.
Wow. Sixes. Are all
Yeah.
the sixes listening? All the sixes need to hear that. Wow. That's huge.
And that's, I mean, well, it's just not even true, right?
Yeah.
And how much I lost out on believing that.
Wow.
Obviously, grace is very real. And
Mhm.
so, um, life finds a way,
Mhm.
as Jurassic Park tells us.
Good things can happen even when we don't believe that we
Yes,
deserve them.
exactly.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah. Wow. Thank you for that. I think that's a powerful message for all of us, and I hope the sixes really hear it in their core. Thank you. We have come to our final question.
okay.
The final question is what's one piece of advice you would give to someone who is wired like you?
Um, so the the very thing that popped into my mind
Yep.
is, and I'm pretty certain this is probably every six,
Mm.
um, that I believe for the longest time that doubt was the only emotion I could trust.
Mm.
And obviously, doubt is neither an emotion nor something you should trust.
Mhm.
Um, and I'm not saying that it's the opposite to that either, right?
Mhm.
Um, but that's what kept me stuck.
Mm.
Was ultimately what you do is you just end up doubting yourself,
Right.
and so I I have adopted, and I don't think I created this, but I can tell you where I got it from. But
Mhm.
there's a good story unfolding
Mm.
in my life,
Mm.
and I can move forward,
Mm.
knowing that that is the case, and
Mm.
that's obviously the opposite of doubt. It's just knowing that there's a good story unfolding,
Right.
and all I have is the wisdom I need for today.
Yeah.
But I have it, and it's there,
Mhm.
and I will use it,
Mm.
and I will be present, and I will be engaged, and I will respond to it. And even if I don't in another moment, it's going to be there in the moment after that. And so I don't know if that, like, I mean, it's just that's kind of what
Yep.
popped into my mind is I really had to do some battle with that, and obviously in doing battle with that, I had to open myself up to other emotions, um, and primarily, I think what I opened myself up to was having the experience of fear, because I think um, a good classic six will tell you that they actually don't feel fear.
Mhm.
They just think fear.
Right. They fear
That's
fear.
Yeah,
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah.
And so I wouldn't have, I would never have told you, and nobody would have saw me as a fearful person,
Right.
right?
Right.
But that was probably one of the number one emotions. So I had to, instead of just thinking
Right.
doubtful things. I had to start feeling feelings that I had no control over and just allow them to come as they did.
Right.
And so fear was predominantly that, and I had to be able to sit in that space and feel the shakiness,
Right.
and then just and be okay. Say there's a good story unfolding here,
Right.
right? Um, sadness, sadness was one I didn't ever really have a problem, but it was disembodied. It was sadness about it was other people's sadness. Then I would
Mm,
piggyback on that,
sure.
but I don't think I necessarily moved into my own sadness. So I've done that a whole lot more.
Hmm.
And that anger one, that one's a dot dot dot.
Same.
So I know it's there and it shows up in a motor vehicle.
Sure.
But yeah, I think maybe I need to get this. So I'm a the sexual repressed instinct. Um, and so once I get that desire thing figured out, then I'm sure,
So this is like a stay tuned. Maybe the part one and part two is coming
yes,
where
yes.
Jill will show us her
Oh
anger.
yeah. That heat of anger will get itself. It's fiery, right?
I love that. Thank you so much for sharing today, Jill. I really appreciate your vulnerability in sharing all those pieces of your journey. And I think the more we can bring the truth of our experience to other people, the more that it shows I can see your courage in doing some of these pieces and in the work that you've done. And I know it will give courage to others.
Well, I've adored walking this pathway with you. Um, we're still fresh, you and I, into it, but it feels like we've journeyed together for years. And
I
so
totally agree. Totally agree.
love you, my friend.
Thank you. And I love you back. And I hope you have a lovely day.
You too.
Bye bye.
Bye.